Hey there, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Vision, the show where we cover everything about the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm Lindsay Poe, your host, and today we've got two guests from the Department of Classical and Modern Languages and Literature here to talk about an exciting project that they have starting this fall. And our first guest is Dr. Kelly Moszer. She's an assistant professor in the department. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So you guys have this exciting project starting this fall, which you got awarded grant money for, and we'll kind of get to that. But can you talk the specifics of the project and tell our viewers what the deal is?
Sure. So in our department, we offer 10 languages. If you've ever walked over to where we are in Lee, you'll see that we, just by the nature of how the building is set up, we collaborate frequently. So we often have large spaces with several desks in them. And through that collaboration, we're easily able to identify how we want to improve our undergraduate program.
Okay.
So for this specific project, because it's to improve undergraduate teaching, we focus specifically on our distance program. Okay. And so we have several classes now since 2015 that we've been offering online. And we wanted to really identify specific strategies for improving that experience for our distance learners.
For your distance learners. And what classes are taught distance from your department?
Yeah, so far we've been making quite a bit of progress here. So initially we had our first 3 semesters across Spanish and French and German that are taught online. And
kind of the big ones.
Right, exactly. Those that have a significant number of students enrolled.
Right.
And we've been continuing to offer additional classes. So now we have more advanced level classes, and we're working toward a graduate program online.
And so this project started with a proposal for the Schilling funds, or the Schilling grant. Can you talk about the development of that proposal and kind of the collaboration that went into it?
Absolutely. So Dr. Rosa Vozo, another Spanish instructor, and Julia Cracker, a Spanish lecturer, and we started first with identifying our needs. What are the gaps in our current teaching? And based on those gaps, what can we do to improve it for not just our section of Spanish, but for all of the language faculty?
Okay.
And so to develop that proposal, we collaborated with several institutions here at Mississippi State and abroad. So for example, we reached out to College of Education faculty to figure out what kind of tools specifically for teaching might we be looking over.
Right.
We reached out to K-12 teachers to figure out what kind of things are they using in their own classes, because of course we're going to get those students in our classes.
Right.
And we worked with Center for Distance Education to figure out what do they have in their studio for recording classes, to make that connection with students more of a community of learners.
Okay. And so you were awarded the funds.
Yes.
Right? And you got some in-house money as well that added to it. So what will that allow you then to do starting this fall?
Right. So this project includes 3 main things. The first part of that is to develop a studio. So we call the project SITE, which stands for the Studio for Integrating Technology for Teaching Excellence.
Okay.
So our first step, which we've already started working on, is to create a space specifically with computers. We have a new robot called the Swivel.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
Absolutely. And other opportunities for faculty to come and try new apps and new programs to include in their online classes. So that's the first part. The second part is to collaborate, and once we try things, we can then tell one another whether it's an effective tool to use with language students.
Right.
And then the last part is training. Okay. So we have lunch and learns in our department where faculty can then figure out, okay, how do I use this robot? How does it help me become a better teacher? And how does it build a community of learners with our undergrads?
And that's going to happen this semester, and then you're hoping to implement it then in the spring maybe?
So we've started, the studio is ready.
Okay.
And we've already set up our first opportunity, I guess, to share with faculty how to use our robot. And the cool thing about this robot is it allows us to record not just what we're doing in the classroom, but it makes our classroom live for distance students. So they can call in and then be a part of our face-to-face classes as well.
That's awesome, because my next question was kind of what can students expect on the flip side? So you guys are getting to use these cool technologies. Well, what are they going to see? How is it going to be different for them when they're taking these classes online?
Right. Well, I think first of all, they're going to have more of an intimate experience. So oftentimes with online teaching, it's very hard for the student to get to know the faculty member, right, and vice versa. So now there are going to be many opportunities for communication just with those groups, as well as they become, very close with the students in all settings here, face-to-face and online.
That's so neat. That's so neat. My last question, real quick, is kind of maybe it's a silly question, but what's kind of the outcome that you hope to see from this, or the goal? I mean, obviously better instruction.
Right.
Is that really the main goal here?
Well, that's one of the initial goals. Mm-hmm. Of course, it'll be connected to how we can train our graduate students to interact with learners as well. But the other thing is most of the research related to language teaching is achievement-based research. And so we want to see, how does this actually help learners use language? Can they communicate better with learners across various cultures in respectful ways? So how do these tools specifically open up these boundaries by, going and experiencing, talking with other cultures?
Okay, wonderful. Well, we're going to have more information from the Department of Classical and Modern Languages and Literature coming up after this short break.
Our world is changing. The way we work, the way we connect, the way we see things around us. At Mississippi State University, we're agents of change, creating our own bright futures, solving real problems, turning challenges into possibilities, and lighting the way to a whole new world of emerging markets. Through MSU's new state-of-the-art Center for Entrepreneurship and Outreach, we're collaborating across campus, sharing perspectives and resources of multiple disciplines to power dreams. But we're so much more than dreamers. We've launched hundreds of student-led businesses, earning millions in revenue, and impacting our state's economy in new and creative ways. We're the next generation of business leaders, and we're ready for a changing world. How do we know we're ready? Because we're the ones changing it. Imagine the flu as something children read about in history books. We are at Mississippi State University, where we ring true.
Welcome back. We've got Julia Cracker here from the Department of Classical and Modern Languages and Literature. She's here to also talk about this exciting project that you guys have got going this fall, getting started. And I asked Dr. Moszer, just to kind of piggyback off of some of the things that she said about the proposal process. And I kind of read in some of my, preparing for this interview that this was in part your idea to get this project going.
Yes, kind of. I don't want to take too much credit because Kelly and Dr. Voso really did a lot of the legwork, but I've been teaching online for a long time now, for 4 years at Mississippi State, and prior to that for Itawamba Community College. So this is something I've dreamed about, having a space where we could do work and prepare videos and lectures and have access to top-notch technology. This is just something I thought about, and when talking with Kelly, we knew that this was a need, and in preparation to help undergraduate education, we thought it's just kind of like all came together. And she says, why don't we work towards that and improving our online teaching?
And so when did you bring that to the table? How long has this kind of been in the process?
It's probably been, I guess, just this past year.
Yep.
It was something we collaborated with Dr. Voso. She also realized the need for it. We've all been friends and colleagues for many years now and teaching Spanish, and I've been teaching online for the past 4 years since we started the program at State, and we knew that we were lacking in resources, and this was a great opportunity to not only improve undergraduate education, but improve our online program at the same time.
Yeah. I can imagine that foreign language is difficult for students to grasp sometimes, right?
It is.
I mean, even in an on-campus setting, right, where you're kind of face-to-face. So can you talk about some of the difficulties? I mean, you say you teach on distance learning, but I'm assuming that you've taught on campus.
Yes, I teach
as well.
most semesters both. I teach online and face-to-face. So yes, it's challenging, especially students that have never taken a foreign language and all of a sudden they're in an online setting. So to be able to develop a classroom that is similar to face-to-face and has the same outcomes, it's really difficult and challenging. So with these new resources and the technology, we're really going to be able to provide a much more realistic classroom setting for the distance learner.
Right. And what do you anticipate kind of that looking like for the student? I mean, that's your end game, right? Because you're a lecturer, so you are focused on making sure that education is at the forefront, that they're getting the most out of it, even though it's distance. So what do you want to see? What is your goal?
I think one of my primary goals is for us to really have a much smaller boundary between distance ed and face-to-face, where we can, like Kelly mentioned before, that with this new swivel robot, we're able to video our classes and even have them live or just upload them for students to watch later. And they're able to see the face-to-face students, they're able to see it's going to be more interactive. Mm-hmm. We're going to provide opportunities for Talk Abroad, which is a communicative program online. So we're just going to be able to provide a lot more options for students to have interactive opportunities with the teacher and with students. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that kind of answers my next question, which is how is this new equipment going to, change the game? But the idea that a robot is sort of following you around the classroom and allowing that student to almost be a part of the classroom at the same time, even though they're distance ed, that seems really awesome. What's your favorite part about teaching? I don't have this in my notes, but what's your favorite part about teaching foreign language? I mean, some people kind of like scoff at it, but especially Spanish these days is so important to be well-rounded.
I mean, I've been teaching, this is my 16th year in education, and I still love my job. And, one of the things is just the relevance of the subject, how useful it is, how many opportunities they have to use it. I'm constantly emphasizing, adding it to any major. No matter what you're doing, you're giving yourself another opportunity in job marketing and so forth, aside from travel and just the uniqueness of knowing another language. Yeah. And so that, for me, makes it really fun.
That's awesome. Julia, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you guys learned something. And these classes will be offered with this robot starting hopefully in the spring or fall.
We're planning to start in the fall.
In the fall. Okay, wonderful. Well, we'll see you next time on Vision.